This isn't merely a rap song. It's a harrowing indictment of how innocence can be sacrificed at the altar of profit, where the pursuit of scientific progress slowly becomes indistinguishable from the erosion of humanity itself. And a massive thank you for the immense generosity for those folks displayed on screen who get to enjoy bonus perks and benefits as YouTube channel members and patrons.
All my thoughts are turning blue. Tell me what's the boy to do? All my yesterdays are fading from the view. And every night I lay awake, waiting for
nice
the
beat.
day to break, just to share another memory with you.
Is that Ren? Is it Ren? I have no idea. So, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I need more context than that. Let me let it play.
Another memory with you.
Dear
Good start,
diary,
though.
it's Jeremiah. I've been trying more to write because these nights get mighty long upon this ward right after light. The bedside lamp illuminates the trailing path of my pen. That's how I feel about the good Dr. Myers, my friend. You see, so Dr. Myers said that I'm responding so exquisitely and physically responsive to prescriptions on delivery. I'm fit to be walking out here in 3 weeks tops. I want to be just like the doctor when I grow up. Mommy said that we got lucky because we can't afford none. And getting let into this trial was a gift from the sun. And we got shined on from the heavens. Man, this doctor's my hero. He sometimes jokes around and calls me patient zero. Cause my patience zero. I mean, I'm kinda hyper. I'm prone to be staying up and pulling all-nighters. And these side effects kind of make my sleeping a nightmare. My mouth gets dry sometimes, no saliva. The pain ain't stopping, but the doctor said patience. My patience is zero. I told you I hate it. The doctor said that it gets dark before dawn. Every rose has its thorns. Best to weather the storm. So 4 in the morning, I'll say goodnight. And if I sleep, then it's a blessing from the holy skies. Every night is a drag, but the daytime's nice. Cause Dr. Myers will be there, so I know I'll be fine.
All my thoughts.
Okay, so that's the intro was the chorus. Very, very interesting. He's painting a very, very profound picture. Yeah, this is definitely a story-driven narrative in song. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so for me, I found that very interesting. Those opening verses possess the innocent cadence of a child's diary, because that's exactly what it is. But beneath that disarming simplicity lurks something profoundly unsettling. So Ren invites us into Jeremiah's world, and he does it through language that is almost painfully naive, and it's allowing us to witness unwavering faith in a figure who is presented as both physician and savior. And that is Dr. Myers, who becomes a symbol of absolute authority in this narrative so far. And he is the embodiment of hope in a world where poverty has stripped Jeremiah's family of choice. And notice how phrases such as a gift from the sun and shined on from the heavens. So that's elevating the clinical trial into something resembling divine providence. So to Jeremiah, this isn't medicine, it's salvation incarnate. But as the song goes on, the cracks begin to appear almost immediately. The child cheerfully recounts things like insomnia, relentless pain, debilitating side effects, and persistent suffering. Yet, he never once questions the treatment itself. So instead, Jeremiah just internalizes every reassurance, and he's parroting the doctor's comforting aphorisms. So it gets dark before dawn, every rose has its thorn, great rhyme scheme, by the way, and it's revealing the extraordinary power that trusted figures wield over vulnerable minds. In this case, that's Jeremiah. And even the chilling nickname, Patient Zero, it's delivered as though it were an affectionate joke, but it carries a dreadful dramatic irony because Jeremiah, he laughs because he does not understand its full implications. While we as listeners, well, I felt the instinct to just recoil from that. And musically, lyrically, Ren, as per usual, he achieves something remarkable here because he weaponizes innocence itself. There's the gentle rhythm of a child's thoughts which lulls us into a false sense of security, whilst every passing line quietly accumulates evidence that something is deeply, catastrophically wrong. And Ren is the master of juxtaposition, because by the time we get to the verse's conclusion, Jeremiah's declaration that he knows he will be fine whenever Dr. Meyers is present, it ceases to feel reassuring at some point. And instead, it becomes profoundly heartbreaking because his unwavering trust is precisely what makes him so tragically defenseless. Okay, I do want to take a look at that chorus a little bit.
Daytime's nice, cause Dr. Myers will be dead, so I know I'll be fine.
All my thoughts are turning blue. Tell me what's the boy to do? All my yesterdays are fading from the view.
Okay.
And every night I lay awake, waiting for the day to break, just to share another memory with you.
Okay. The picture is becoming clearer. So that intro/chorus, it has a very significant and a very, very profound sort of tinge to the song. Yeah, okay, so this is the second time listening to the chorus because it was the intro. And it's where the emotional landscape of the song just shifts from innocent narration to quiet existential tragedy. The phrase, all my thoughts are turning blue. Now that is far more than a poetic flourish. Blue has long been the color of melancholy, fading vitality, and emotional desolation. And to me, it's suggesting that Jeremiah's very consciousness is being stained by something beyond his understanding. And the plaintive question that he had, what's a boy to do? Now that is devastating in its simplicity. And it's not because it seeks an answer, but because it reveals the utter helplessness of childhood in the face of forces far greater than itself. And then moving on, perhaps the most haunting line is, all my yesterdays are fading from view. So that's implying not only the erosion of memory, but the gradual dissolution of identity itself. The song is just making me sad. But look, whether through illness, medication, or something far more sinister, the child feels his past slipping beyond his reach, as though the person he once was is quietly disappearing. Yet the final couplet transforms insomnia into something almost sacred, because each sleepless night becomes an act of longing, endured solely for the privilege of sharing another fleeting moment with the one person he believes is saving him. And I mean, how devastating is that? That is, well, it's tragic irony. And of course it is, because is that this cherished relationship may itself be the source of his own suffering? And I think Ren's brilliance lies in making the chorus sound almost lullaby-like, and it's wrapping unbearable grief inside a melody that feels gentle enough to comfort a child, but it becomes the emotional heartbeat of the song where memory, dependence, and hope intertwine so completely that we begin to realize Jeremiah is no longer simply fighting an illness. He is desperately trying to hold on to the fragments of himself before they vanish altogether. Damn, this song hits. Okay, let's bring it back a bit. This is a hell of a start. The song is very, very deep. Let's keep it going.
Just to share another memory with you.
Dr. Rick Meyers, September
Webby.
21st. Patient 13 appears to be getting worse. It's seeming like these treatments not only failed to work, but have made his condition critical. Crippling adverse symptoms and side effects like the last 12 kids. Pardon me, I mean test subjects. I gotta give myself distance from my feelings. This is science, nothing more. And so I hide behind that mindset anytime that I'm unsure. I was hired to find a cure, and so at times I come off heartless. But my job's to stay on target and bring this product to market. Gotta keep the funding coming, gotta finish what we started. Gotta crack some eggs to make this multi-million-dollar omelet. With these corporate pharma reps, and they've been breathing down my neck. And they're the ones who write the checks, really, what the fuck you expect? I got a wife and 2 boys of my own I gotta protect. So these kids at the clinic are just numbers I've written next to the date and time of the test. Nothing more, nothing less. Blame the parents if you want it, they sign a form of consent. But this Jeremiah kid, there I go again. Patient 13, I mean, something about him's different. Says he wants to be like me, and so I say that he'll become an even better doctor, knowing that day will never come. His pulse has been getting weaker. Now there's fluid in his lungs. Get some rest, patient 0. We're almost done.
I have a lot of things to say about this. My giddy aunt. Well, Chris Webby just locked in for the second verse. And it's a massive difference from the first verse from Ren, because he tears away the comforting illusion of the first verse with surgical precision. And he's revealing the diary we trusted to be only half the story. So we're listening to Dr. Meyers' perspective. And Chris Webby exposes the devastating machinery of moral compromise. And I want to be clear about that. That is moral compromise. There's no other way of looking at it. And you can notice how the doctor's language oscillates between clinical detachment and flickers of, I'm going to call it buried humanity. And he repeatedly corrects himself from kids to test subjects and then from Jeremiah to patient 13. And those linguistic acts of self-defense that strip children of identity just so that he can continue his work without drowning in guilt. And his mantra, right? This is science, nothing more, is less a conviction than a desperate anesthetic for his own conscience. And what makes this verse so haunting is that Meyers is not portrayed as a mustache-twirling villain, but as a man who has gradually surrendered his morality to ambition, as well as, corporate pressure and self-preservation. And that chilling metaphor that he used, crack some eggs to make this multi-million-dollar omelet. Now that reduces innocent lives to expendable collateral in the pursuit of profit. But the thing that pierced through this veil of so-called professionalism was Jeremiah's unwavering admiration. It just pierced through that emotional armor. And it's reminding us that every statistic is a child with hopes, memories, and dreams. So when we come to the final line, there's this thing that Chris Webby says, get some rest, patient 0. We're almost done. Now that lands with terrifying ambiguity because it sounds compassionate, yet knowing everything that we've heard, it feels less like reassurance and more like a quiet death sentence. And it's delivered by a man who can no longer distinguish healing from harm. Okay, let's keep it going. Dr. Meyers. There are so many Dr. Meyers in the world. They need a strong dose of humanity. But anyway, here we go.
Fluid in his lungs. Get some rest, patient 0. We're almost done.
My thoughts are turning blue. Tell me what's the boy to do. All my yesterdays are fading from the view.
That does sound a bit like Ren.
And every night I lay awake, waiting for the day
Dr. Rick Meyers, September 29th. Patient 13 didn't make it through the night. His name was Jeremiah, and he loved to read and write. And I can't help but feel responsible. I gotta make this right. Gotta find that breakthrough, gotta give the company something, or else I'm afraid they'll start to lose interest and pull their funding. So I studied every study and double-checked every entry in the journal I've been writing, just hoping something will catch me. Didn't sleep for 3 days till I figured it out. And once I did, I knew that I could realistically vouch to have it finished up by Christmas. So I called and set a meet so I could tell my bosses I was just weeks away from complete. Little patient 13 and the 12 who came before him, and the sacrifice they gave us would be for something important. For the science to prevail, gotta learn to live with the losses. I repeated in my thoughts as I went to step in the office. Hey,
How often do we sacrifice the health of millions on the altar of profit? Okay, let's dive deeper into those lyrics. The song is kind of making me sad but enlightened in a way. Trying to hold back tears here. That third verse. It's the song's most devastating meditation on the extraordinary human capacity for self-justification. Jeremiah is no longer with us. Patient 13, but his name was Jeremiah. Now that's a subtle yet profound shift that signals the doctor's carefully constructed emotional barricade beginning to crumble. Now, for the very first time, he remembers the child not as data, but as a boy who loved to read and write. Now, that's a heartbreaking acknowledgement because there's a vibrant human life that has been eclipsed by clinical ambition. Yet even as guilt awakens for Dr. Meyers, it is swiftly absorbed into the machinery of obsession. So Dr. Meyers, rather than stopping, grieving, or questioning the ethics of this trial, this experiment, Meyers convinces himself that Jeremiah's death must mean something. And this is the seductive danger of utilitarian thinking. When enough has been sacrificed, the mind begins to believe that pressing forward is the only way to justify the cost. And his sleepless pursuit of a breakthrough is therefore both an act of remorse as well as an act of denial, because success becomes the only narrative capable of redeeming failure, right? So there's that repeated refrain, for the science to prevail. It's less a noble declaration than a desperate incantation against unbearable guilt. Ren and Chris Webby masterfully illustrate how conscience rarely disappears overnight. Instead, it is gradually negotiated away until tragedy is reframed as necessary. So by the time we get to the verse's conclusion, we are left with a chilling question. Is Dr. Meyers pursuing a cure for humanity or merely searching for absolution from himself? Okay, taking it back 5 seconds, and let's keep this going.
To live with the losses, I repeated in my thoughts as I went to step in the office.
Great
Hey,
rhyme
here
scheme.
for the meeting?
Oh yes, Dr. Michaels, have a seat.
It's Meyers. Just you here today?
Well, you know how busy things get.
Right. Okay,
That's
well...
Ren.
Anyways, I finally had a breakthrough in the research with the formula, and it's actually...
Okay, let me just stop you right there.
But...
We've decided to go in a different direction with the funding.
What?
Well, there's this new weight loss product in trials right now. Gila Monster Venom, actually.
Gila Monster?
Yeah, everyone's really
Gila
excited about it
Monster,
over
is
here.
it?
But kids died on my watch.
Listen, we are so sorry to hear that.
You're sorry?
We
Sure
want
you
to
are.
thank you so much for your hard work, Dr. Michaels.
Myers.
Sure, and you really are one of our best and brightest.
But...
Listen, I'm sure we'll have another project with your name on it very soon.
No. Listen,
Great, I'll have my assistant reach out.
Assistant?
Have yourself a nice day.
All my thoughts are turning blue.
Oh,
Tell
that
me
ending.
what's the boy to do? All my yesterdays are fading from the view. And every night I lay awake, waiting for the day to break, just to share another memory with you.
You know, this song is a profound testament to the power of music and how it can make you feel. That was unbelievable. Truly amazing work by Ren and Chris Webby. Webby really cooked there. Yeah, let's finish up this analysis. There's a lot that can be learned from something like this. So that brief dialogue in the song, I think that's its moral earthquake. Because up until now, we might have believed that every sacrifice, however horrific, was driven by the relentless pursuit of a cure, right? But instead, Ren and Chris Webby exposed the brutal indifference of corporate machinery, where human lives are weighed against market trends and profit margins. And that repeated mistake of calling him Dr. Michaels instead of Dr. Meyers, now that is far from incidental, because it sort of symbolizes his complete disposability, right? And because to the company, he is no longer a brilliant scientist, but another interchangeable employee whose years of work and the children who died under his care are just completely forgotten the moment a more lucrative opportunity emerges. And I suppose, to put it lightly, you can call it the bitter irony of abandoning life-saving research for, what was it? Right, a fashionable weight loss drug, which transforms the narrative into a scathing critique of commercialized healthcare. So, in a matter of seconds, Meyers is forced to confront the horrifying truth. The lives that were sacrificed were never sacred to those funding the research. They were simply the cost of a business venture that has now moved on. Oh, okay. Well, that was a tough one to get through. I'm glad I didn't shed any tears this time. But again, remarkable, brilliant from Ren and Chris Webby. Truly heart-moving. But that's all the time I have now, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you would like to support the channel in a deeper way, you can do so via Buy Me a Coffee, Super Thanks, PayPal, or joining my Patreon to enjoy exclusive perks and benefits, as well as becoming a YouTube channel member. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, do be kind, do be gentle, do be respectful to one another, and help each other out when you can. And I'll see you lot in the next video. Take care.